Now an update to a FOX23 investigation. We've been telling you about this local Vietnam veteran who'd been searching for his father and found a family he didn't even know he had.
All the while he's been fighting cancer as well. Tonight, some good news in that fight.
Tulsa's investigative reporter Jana Clark recently told us he's healthy enough to travel to go see his daughter and grandkids. And now another huge surprise. He met his half-brother.
72-year-old Vietnam veteran Alan Kruger has been fighting stage 3 lung cancer. It's what prompted him to write this letter asking me to help him find his father.
There's something missing. Then I said to myself, I should like to see a picture of my father. I'm not asking much, just a picture.
DNA results pointed me to Alan's closest match, Aaron Lewis. His grandfather is Daryl Russell Lewis. That's how I knew for sure that Daryl was Alan's birth father.
Here's your father.
Wow, that's an old picture. That's Dad. It's amazing. It's amazing. You look like he would have been a good father. 72 years. And now it comes.
When I reached out to Aaron, he helped me get in touch with Alan's other family members. He has a sister named Gina and 2 brothers, Rick and Tim. Alan met Tim for the first time when they talked on the phone.
Hello?
Tim?
Yes?
Hey, it's Jana.
How you doing?
I'm going to hand the phone to Alan, okay?
That'll be fine.
All right. Alan, this is your brother.
Tim?
Hey, Alan.
This is new to me. I'm your older brother, Alan.
I understand that.
I live in Oklahoma. I'm 72 years old.
On that phone call, they found out Tim and Alan's daughter, Amy, both live near San Antonio.
She's in Burning, Texas. She's
In Bernie, Texas?
Burning, Texas, north of San Antonio.
Well, I'm currently sitting in San Antonio, and I make a lot of trips to Bernie.
You have?
I have.
Well, I'll be.
Alan's doctors cleared him to travel, so he took a train to San Antonio to see his daughter and grandkids.
What was it like, Alan, when you got off the train and you got to see Amy?
Yeah, she was right there. It was amazing.
What was it like getting to see all those photos of your grandfather?
Oh, it was crazy. And at first it was like, of course you're so curious, like, do I look like him or does he look like me? You know, did I get my blue eyes from him? I'm the only one in the family that had blue eyes in his side. So it just kind of was curious.
None of us thought it would be possible for Alan to see his brother Tim on this trip because he was working out of state. But Alan wished it could happen.
To see what he looks like, really, besides a picture, and talk to him, and
maybe get to know who your dad was.
Got to know a little bit more about my father. You know, that would be nice.
Somehow, on Alan's last day in San Antonio, Tim made it happen and came to see Alan.
Well, what do you mean? I want to hug. Oh, 70 years. Wow, you're a tall guy.
Then they all FaceTimed me. Alan, Amy, Tim, and his girlfriend Cheryl.
How is everybody?
Wonderful.
It's 2 brothers in one shot.
Hard to believe. Hard to put a price on, but it happened. Thanks to you.
It is a beautiful picture.
We've taken quite a few pictures since we've been here.
Tell me what it was like when you 2 got to see each other for the first time.
We hugged and shook hands. So Alan stuck his hand out to shake my hand, and I said, after this many years, you're getting much more than a handshake. So it was something I needed. Hopefully Alan did too.
They talked about their father, Daryl. He grew up in Kentucky. They figured out as a young man, Daryl took a motorcycle trip across the country to Los Angeles, and that's where he met Alan's mom.
They put us here, and that's what counts. There you go. Yeah. If it wasn't for them, I would not be here. Yeah. Amy would not be here. Kim would not be here.
One connection they can't deny, their genetics.
I'll start breaking out pictures. Well, my daughter and Amy's daughter and my daughter and Amy could pass for twins. It's amazing what the bloodline does. You know, you can take the years away, but you can't take the facts and the blood.
Amy, what did you think when you saw those photos?
It's great. It's really, truly a blessing.
Did you figure out how you got your blue eyes?
I think I know where I got my blue eyes. eyes from now. For sure.
Where'd you get the blue eyes?
Well, it's definitely from Daryl Russell Lewis.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yes, ma'am.
What is your take on this whole thing? I mean, what has kind of been your reaction to finding out all of this?
It's been positive. You know, I'll just lay it all out there. And Alan and I grew up totally different in our lives. There's a lot of happiness and joy, but there's a lot, and in a way, there's a lot of sadness to this, because I feel bad for Alan that he didn't have those experiences with his real biological father that I had. But now, after all these years, it's came together. I'm very happy, and I'm glad that you filled in the pieces of the puzzle. And Alan asked for one little. I remember that plain as day. The first video interview, he said he wanted one little picture of his father. So from that one request that Alan had, you know, he's got much more from that, and hopefully he's happy with all that. Oh, yes.
If it weren't for Aaron, I don't think any of this would have happened.
Back to the famous, wonderful words of our Father. The Lord works in mysterious ways. For some reason, not known by any of us, Aaron went years ago to Ancestry DNA. All that happened for a reason. And it's what we're going through now. It's what we're experiencing today. It's what all the hard work that you put into this and research.
Tim told me at first he wasn't sure whether he should get involved in all of this. In fact, he almost backed out. But he got some good advice from Cheryl, and he remembered what his father used to say.
There's another wonderful gift that our Father taught us. When a situation would come up in life, and I'd already had my mind made up what the answer was, he would lay his hands on my shoulder and rotate me 180 degrees. And he would say, now think about it. That was putting myself in their shoes. And every single time he did that, which was many in life, I had a whole new perspective. So 20 minutes before the first phone interview, I was almost thinking, I can't do this. So Cheryl said, can I talk to you? And I said, absolutely. And she, you know, kind of let me know that, well, how would you want to handle this if you were Alan and he was you? Wouldn't you want to? And when she did that, it was a given. I said I wouldn't have missed that for the world.
It sounds like you gave him really good advice.
She did.
I know that God's in control and God orchestrated all of this.
One thing they all do question is the timing of it all.
There's a lot of sadness that this was waited until Alan had to go through a sad time in his life where he was diagnosed with cancer at 72. You know, why couldn't this have happened when he and I were 15? When he and I were 25? Or even 50. When my children could have met Amy and Sheila. But as the wonderful Cheryl lets me know all the time, you don't need to look back and dwell and have bad emotions and bad feelings over what you didn't have. You got to think positive on the things that you do have, which the gratitude of all this right here.
Covering news that matters, Jana Clark, Fox 23 News.
Oh, that is so awesome. Now, Jana asked the two brothers, what's next? Tim said he'd like to come visit Alan here in Green Country, so hopefully they can work that out sometime. Also, an update on Alan's battle with cancer. He told Jana he's now doing chemo treatments once a month.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think Jana Clark should investigate? Let us know. Email FOX23 Investigates at fox23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search Fox 23 Jana Clark on Facebook.